Hello everyone, my name is Zain Jamjoom and today I'd like to present to you my thesis project, Treehouse. So what is Treehouse? Basically, Treehouse is a fun reading application for children who are beginning to learn how to read. It really focuses on delivering a personalized and customizable reading experience for the child who grew up in a bilingual speaking family. It will encompass some of the great aspects of the best reading apps available in the market, such as identifying letters, sound phonics, tracing over letters, improving writing skills, reading sight words, and short sentences. So the main problem here is that there are not enough applications, or let's say not enough good applications targeted towards the bilingual child. I grew up in a bilingual family where we spoke both Arabic and English, and although my siblings and I grew up in North America, it was very important for my family that we maintained a strong Arabic education. As a mother of a young toddler, I'm eager to educate my little one in both English and Arabic. And he has started from a young age showing interest in mobile apps and iPads and playing different kinds of games. And since he began playing, I've been trying my hardest to find applications that would also help him speak in Arabic or teach him different words in Arabic. And I have yet to find the perfect one. There is very limited good quality educational applications targeted towards the bilingual child, and most of them existing are mainly for Spanish or French speaking children. So Treehouse is the solution. Treehouse will provide a unique reading experience by providing the user with both great quality interactive reading games and also a fully customizable experience where the parent and child can customize the difficulty level and the sound control and the language. So what truly makes Treehouse different from other reading applications out there is that it offers a fun educational space for the bilingual child. And that perfectly summarizes the positioning statement of what is Treehouse. So who is Treehouse for? Well, the primary target audience is children between the ages of 5 to 6. These children are raised within middle to upper class families with a bilingual or multilingual background. They have access to mobile devices with pre-purchased apps by their parents. They are also beginner readers who are encouraged to practice reading and also play educational games anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes a day. The secondary target audience are parents, legal guardians, and caregivers. They are also within middle to upper class families and have a bilingual or multilingual background, and they're also constantly seeking help their children advance reading abilities within a preferred language. So after doing research, I have found that there are four main products that directly compete with Treehouse. The first one here is called Endless Reader, and overall this application is fun, interactive, and beautifully designed. Some of its pros are that it has fun animations, engaging sound effects, simple and easy to use, and also has different levels. However, some of its cons has a lack of any customization, no personal profile or personalization, no language options, and a very limited amount of words. The second app is called Reading Raven, and Reading Raven is an educational app designed to teach young kids reading skills. And from personally using this application, it's safe to say that the overall application has a strong basis for an educational reading app with a variety of games. However, I did face some difficulty when it came to the navigation and felt a little static when it came to the interaction as well. Some of the pros were it had a clear voiceover to direct the child on what to do and where to go. It has a variety of games, and you can customize the app or the games to the age of your child or to the ability of your child. And also it has, you can customize the audio settings and also available text settings. Some of its cons was that it felt a little static, lack of any language options or preferences, no personalization, and somewhat difficult in terms of navigation. The third app is Montessori Letter Sounds. And I was personally impressed as to all the features this application included, such as personalization, customization, sound and most importantly, language variations. Although it included all of these features, I was kind of let down by the dull and unexciting graphics and finally, we have SiteWords, and SiteWords is an application that I personally thought was successful in providing a strong educational base for children. However, personally, I was not impressed with the interactivity, the overall design, and the number of options were quite overwhelming. The navigation was very confusing at times. And after reviewing and analyzing and actually playing all of these apps, I created a comparative matrix. And the comparative analysis is based on 9 main criterions: the visual design, interactivity, creative experience, usability, customization, multilingual, sound, education, and entertainment. And the figure on the right here showcases how each application measured in comparison to Treehouse. And now onto the visual design style. Before we dive deep into the visual design style that I decided to go with for Treehouse, let me just give you a brief or a little input on the visual design influences and inspiration. The first one is an application called Mubalala, and it is an adaptation of a digital book of the actual best-selling book Mubalala by Sandra Boynton, and it was created by Loud Crow Interactives. Their work is absolutely wonderful. The interactivity is unpredictable, yet engaging, and also wonderfully created for children. The second app is actually one I already mentioned in the competitive analysis, and it is Endless Reader. The reason why I decided to include this as a part of my inspiration, it is because I was first introduced to it when I downloaded it for my child, and he's only 2 and knew how to use it right away. He loved it, and the fact that he started sounding out letters, imitating the app's sound effects was absolutely unbelievable. And my last inspirational app is an app called Friends, created by Sago Mini. I loved how simple it was, how flat and colorful the style was. It was very easy to use. My 2-year-old also knew how to use it right away. Very interactive, beautifully animated, and wonderfully created. So over here we have the visual style or mood board that I decided to go with for Treehouse. I really wanted it to reflect a flat 2D style. I wanted it to have characteristics of geometric yet organic and abstract elements. Um, I really felt that due to the target audience being kids, I wanted it to have a whimsical yet amusing feel as well. We also see that I decided to go with a very colorful color palette, which includes a combination of warm colors, cool colors, neutrals. Now onto the logo of Treehouse. I decided to incorporate characters. At first, I really wanted to add a combination of characters that lived in the tree, but I realized that when I was sketching, I kept on referring to the bird or owl as my character, so I decided to go with it. I also wanted to include my characters throughout the app, so I thought that having a bird would really mesh well with the whole concept and also could be utilized throughout the app as character notifications, hints, or other aspects as well throughout the game. And finally, we see here the transformation from sketch to a digital refined logo. I included and incorporated the color scheme from my mood board and ended up with something quite interesting, which I personally really like. Now, after I have completed and finalized my logo, I decided to create some design specifications. The first we see the color option and the black and white option, and also a logo type option without the characters. I've also included the color logo on a background, the grayscale logo on a dark background, and have added the clear space that should be always used. when the logo is present. And for the type specifications, the headlines should always use the Luna type, and body text should always use a Helvetica Nu. And now on to the main event, which is the visual mock-ups. I really enjoyed working on these. Week after week, everything was developing and refining, and to finally have it all come together is really satisfying. Over here we have the sign-in page and the home page. As you can see, the visual style is implemented. You can also see that in the home page, the icons that I used mimic a whimsical and childish feel, and also the world map, which in this case it's not showing, but we'll have an overview, and once the user is ready to play, it will zoom into each section. And over here you have the design mockups for the profile modal and also the parent-only access modal. Finally, we have the visual mockups for the actual game path. And for the scope of this project, I'm only focused on developing English games and also Arabic games, just to limit the amount of work. You can see that the characters are also used once again as hint icons or hinting elements to guide the child on how to trace the letter or on where to select. The design specifications showcase the grid used, which is a 20-column grid, and the proportions used, which is 1024 pixels by 768, which was the proportions of an iPad on a horizontal or a landscape view. You can also see that the base unit is 42 pixels, which is used as the margins, and also there's a 10 pixel padding. The icon size also follows the base unit size, which is 42 pixels. Over here we have the sitemap of the application, or in other words, information architecture, which really shows all the ins and outs of the app and where to go and what to do. And now on to our personas and use cases. So to start off, we have a primary persona. Her name is Leila Hassan, and she's a 5-year-old girl from a middle-class family. Her parents are originally from Lebanon, so Leila speaks both English and Arabic. She's a very talkative, very attentive, very bubbly, very ambitious, and her teachers have always complimented her on her participation in class. So her use case shows that she is trying to create a new account in Treehouse. The first step is to locate the app on her iPad. Once she launches the app, she is prompted to the intro page, which shows her a login button and a create new user account button. So since she wants to create a new account, she presses on the new account button. Once she does that, she is sent to the new account setup, where all she has to do is type in her name and add a password. Once she's comfortable with the name and password she has entered, she selects create. After selecting create, she is now logged into her homepage. Our second persona showcases a persona from our secondary target audience. Her name is Salma Yassin. She is a single mom of a 5-year-old girl. She's originally from Morocco, but is currently living in the UK. And she speaks 3 languages, French, Arabic, and English. However, her daughter only speaks French and a little Arabic, and is finding it very difficult to communicate and understand her peers at school. Her use case shows that she is trying to add a second language option to her daughter's Treehouse account. Her preconditions shows that she's a previous user and already logged in. So from her homepage, all she needs to do is press the lock icon, which will initiate a parents-only login. The parents-only login mainly consists of a question that must be answered by either a parent or caregiver. This question, once answered successfully, will give the parent or caregiver some options. The option that Selma is currently interested in is the languages, so she presses on languages, adds a second language, and in this case she wants to add Arabic, so she presses on Arabic as a second language. And once she presses the X icon, which will close this modal, a second language icon will appear in the home page. And finally, we have our digital prototype. So for the scope of this project or this thesis, I decided to create a very detailed walkthrough of the application, which will showcase all of the areas and components and features of the app, along with a coded prototype which will mainly showcase 3 tasks. The 3 tasks will be sign in, edit or change profile, and also parent-only access. Thank you for listening to my Treehouse thesis project. I really enjoyed this class. Have a great summer.